Breaking news, a cargo plane crashes at the Louisville airport, forcing much of the city to shelter in place. What we've learned from officials in the past few minutes.
We're in for another chilly night. Who has the chance to see some frost tonight and the new timing for rain?
A transformation to Fayetteville Street in downtown Raleigh could be one step closer to reality. Coming up, a look at the report and recommendation discussed today that could dictate the future of the city's downtown core.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
We have got to start tonight with that stunning video out of Louisville, Kentucky. Just take a look at this mammoth fire here. A UPS cargo plane crashed at Muhammad Ali International Airport. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Ashley Rowe.
And I'm Dan Haggerty. So here is what we know. This is what we have learned just in the last 30 minutes. UPS saying that 3 people were on board. They did not say anything about their condition right now. We also just found out that 4 people did go to the hospital after all of this, and the FAA says that the airport will be closed until 7 tomorrow morning.
Let's get to Brian Schrader in the live center with the very latest from the scene. Brian.
I want to monitor those live pictures that we're getting. The fire is there in the distance, and one of the reasons that we're not able to get better pictures of this right now is that they have closed the airspace there, so the news helicopters have to stay back. So we're relying on some of the fixed traffic cameras in that area. But you can see that that is still an active scene there at the end of the runway, beyond the end of the runway of the Muhammad Ali International Airport in Louisville, Kentucky. UPS flight 2976 took off around 5:15 this afternoon on its way to Honolulu, Hawaii, and it appears to have crashed at the end of the runway. There is video that appears to show the plane crashing there, the left engine on fire, and then it crashes at the end of the runway. We're still working to independently verify that that is in fact video of that plane. UPS says 3 people were on board, but there are growing concerns that there may be many others who were affected by this on the ground. I want to show you some other video of this. This is a picture taken just after that crash happened. A huge plume of smoke, concerns about air quality. As we said, about half of the city of Louisville right now in a shelter-in-place order. Before they cleared the airspace, a news helicopter was able to catch this video, and you can see that it appears as though that plane crashed into an area where there were a lot of trucks that had tankers. There appears to be petroleum that is burning there. Other buildings were damaged, according to this video. This is a picture of the kind of plane we're talking about, an MD-11, fully fueled for that long trip out to Honolulu. And also, weather radar picked up that smoke as that plume formed over the airport and then spread north over the city. As we get new updates during this newscast, I'll let you know.
Wow.
Incredible, Brian. Okay. We, back here at home, have a mixed bag of weather the next few days. This map showing us just how cold it's going to get tonight, but really everybody expected to feel it in the 30s outside.
As we look at the next couple of afternoons, though, boy, you can't get much better than that. The temperatures are certainly going to take us for a ride.
Yes. So let's first focus on the cold. Meteorologist Kat Campbell is in the Severe Weather Center. Kat, the nights and the mornings, they're going to feel chilly.
Yep, you got to keep dressing in layers. We're already down to 52 degrees right now in Raleigh. It's a calm night. The wind pretty light, the air dry, and the clear skies all coming together to cool us off into the mid to upper 30s. 39 the low in Raleigh, 38 Durham, 35 in Roxborough and Rocky Mount. I want to stress any frost would be pretty isolated. I wouldn't expect to see it around the Triangle, but our typically cooler spots could see some issues out there. And those are areas like Roxborough, Oxford, Henderson, 36, Roanoke Rapids, Siler City, and Sanford, 35 degrees tomorrow morning. And get ready for weather whiplash. 39 tomorrow morning, 73 during the afternoon. That is not the biggest temperature difference on our 7-day, though. I'll have a closer look at when that comes coming up.
Thank you, Kat. Hey, it's 7 o'clock here. We like to talk about all the growth that is happening in the Triangle. This is a developing story. We're learning more about what the future holds for a key part of downtown Raleigh. For months, leaders have been eyeing ways to get more people to shop and dine along Fayetteville Street.
WRAL's Flynn Snyder explains the upgrades approved today that could be among the first of many.
It's often called North Carolina's Main Street, and for those who work in buildings along Fayetteville Street, it can seem a little quiet.
Like, I remember just going to Charlotte for the first time and being so surprised at how many people were down there and just how active it felt. and coming back to Raleigh, and just like in comparison, it was just a little bit more dead.
City council members gave a green light to a new round of upgrades aiming to draw more foot traffic here. It's part of the Fayetteville Streetscapes project, which will plan for future upgrades.
It's not a place people want to go to spend time, and so we're hoping to change that.
Well, this round of work will see the removal of some of these stone and marble planters to make more room for outdoor dining. Visitors could also sit in swings, and leaders want to make things more colorful.
We're looking at really focusing on public art, so using paint, using lighting, and then using art pieces that function also as wayfinding and furniture. And so the street will look very different, I would say, by spring or summer of next year.
Getting there is top of mind for those who visit most.
And it's kind of like a secondary to, are the streets walkable? Do people want to come down here and actually see the public art?
And leaders hope more foot traffic means more revenue.
The money that we generate downtown helps keep our taxes low across the city. Fayetteville Street was a place where a lot of people worked, and we've seen shifts in office work behavior post-COVID.
The project comes as Raleigh expands its convention center, relocates the Red Hat Amphitheater, and prepares for a new high-rise hotel nearby.
That's going to bring a lot of energy and foot traffic to that area, and we just want to make sure that the rest of the street is a welcoming and inviting place as well.
A focus on shopping and on dining in Raleigh's Central Business District. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News, Raleigh.
Yeah, one piece of many that's coming to downtown. Right. This round of work, by the way, is set to cost $1 million. Future phases are planned. Council members are looking into funding for a permanent band stage at City Plaza. A full redesign for Fayetteville Street, which, by the way, that's what we're looking at behind us here, is expected to be approved early next year.
$1 million. Sounds like a deal nowadays.
Exactly.
Jeez, it's hard to believe, actually. Now, if you've lived here for, 10 years or so, you know the story of Fayetteville Street. It's gotten a lot of attention like this in the past. It's seen changes over the years, plenty of them. For example, one of the big ones, Fayetteville Street, used to be closed to traffic, open to pedestrians only. Then in the early 2000s, the city decided they'd like to change that. That was the last time that the city really tried something big to change things up down there. We'll see how this next phase works out.
It is election night in North Carolina and across the country. There are less than 30 minutes until polls close tonight.
Now, we don't have any statewide or federal elections tonight like some other states do, not here, but we do have plenty of races that all affect the things happening right here in our backyard. We have live team coverage tonight on two big races we are following. Monica Casey is live in Durham for the mayor's race there. WRAL's Eric Miller is in Fayetteville for the mayor's race there. Let's get things started in Durham with Monica. Hey, Monica.
Hey, Dan, it's a big night here in Durham. We have that mayoral race and 3 city council races. Now, polls are open until 7:30, but you can see there is a line of people here behind me who are here waiting to vote. Now, in that mayoral race, incumbent Leonardo Williams is facing off against Anjani Bell. We have been speaking with voters here this evening about what issues matter most to them, what brought them out here to cast their votes. The top ones we have heard are development, the environment, and affordable housing. Live in Durham, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
Okay, pretty significant line. Now let's get over to Eric Miller. He's in Fayetteville. Eric, the city going to be electing a new mayor tonight.
Ashley, we don't have any lines here, but this is the Church of Christ off of Country Club Drive, and I can tell you this has been one of the busiest polling places in the city so far. More than 600 voters have come and gone from those doors to cast their ballots. Up for grab, there are 5 city council seats here in Fayetteville that are on the ballot tonight. Then there's also that mayor's race, that highest profile race on the ballot here in Fayetteville this evening. At Pitt's current mayor Mitch Colvin against Mayor Pro Tem Kathy Keith Jensen. Now, the voters we've talked to today, a lot of folks who have come and gone, those who are voting for Colvin say they like his experience. He's been in the mayor's office since 2017. They also like the overall direction of the city, and they want to keep that going. Those voting for Jensen, unsurprisingly, they want a change of pace. They also say that they want to see more growth, more development here, like they see happening in other cities around the Triangle. In Fayetteville, Eric Miller, WRAL News.
A lot at stake there, Eric. Thank you. We have a comprehensive list of all the local races right now on our website. You can also find the results when they start coming in. Our live coverage of election night continues tonight at 10. and 11 o'clock on WRAL.
Lots to talk about, though, here at 7 as we describe the 5 things. Talk about the 5 things that you need to know right now. Raleigh police, they arrested a mother and her boyfriend for child abuse after they say her toddlers were exposed to fentanyl. EMS had to use Narcan on both of those children. They're both expected, fortunately, to be okay. The woman's boyfriend also facing some drug charges tonight. Former state lawmaker Cecil Brockman paid his bail, but we know he remains in jail tonight. This is according to some court documents. Brockman bonded out at 3:30 this afternoon, but as of now, he is still being held at the High Point Detention Center. It's not clear exactly why he is still there or when he will be released, but Brockman faces charges for child sex crimes. He resigned from his position as a state representative last week. The state health department says people who rely on SNAP should see some partial benefits next week. SNAP payments have been in doubt because of the government shutdown. The USDA announced plans yesterday, though, to give people half of their normal balance this month. DHHS recommends people check their debit cards often to see when those benefits show up.
The state DOT has awarded a $2 million contract to a company to help repair that. Oh, look at this road in Apex. Yeah, massive sinkhole. They're going to fix the culvert and relocate a water line along Olive Chapel Road. This has been closed for months. It's expected to reopen in late January. Starting today, some teenage drivers can upgrade their provisional license online. A parent will first complete their portion of the process, then the teen does the rest. In the past, eligible teens had to go in person to an office to upgrade from a limited provisional license to a full provisional license. Well, if it seems like there's a new food recall every day, it's because there is. Experts say we average 1 recall per day. All the headlines put the spotlight on food safety. We dive into why the statistic isn't as alarming as it sounds and the efforts to keep our food supply safe. Federal regulators have now linked a bacteria outbreak to 6 deaths and 25 hospitalizations around the country. It all ties back to recalls we're seeing with several pre-cooked pasta meals. We actually learned about this outbreak back in June. It set off a wave of recalls. People are getting sick with an infection called listeria. At least one of them is from our state. These are just some of the recalls that have been making headlines in recent weeks. If it feels like you're constantly hearing about recalls, you're not imagining it. This is an FDA dashboard that shows most of the active recalls. Right now, there are 545 of them. 205 of them are just from this year. And get this, the dashboard actually doesn't even have every recall, so it's possible that number is even higher. And all of that, those are big numbers. That can sound pretty alarming. So to get a better sense of what we are facing, I talked with an NC State expert about food recalls to find out what this all means for us. Here now with Dr. Ben Chapman, the head of Agricultural and Human Sciences at NC State. Appreciate you joining us. Let's jump right into it. Dr. Chapman, why are we seeing so many recalls?
So I wouldn't say that we're seeing a number of recalls that is any different than what we would expect to see in a normal situation. I know many of the people that I work with in the retail industry and in food service, they expect to see about a recall a day. And that's kind of what we're experiencing right now. We may have some higher profile recalls that are grabbing attention differently, but I don't actually think that the data supports that we're seeing any more recalls now than we have over the past year or the past 10 years.
We are seeing a good number of them, though. Like, we're talking about hundreds of active recalls. When we look at that, is that because there is just more product on the market to look at, or is that because of advances in technology? Help us understand this.
Yeah, it's a wide variety of reasons on why we see so many recalls. One is it actually demonstrates that our food safety system is working as is planned, because what's happening is that either regulators or industry members are finding problems, and what they're trying to do is get product back when they find those problems. So certainly our technology is getting better. Our ability to share information from different parts of the industry to regulators is getting better. And we see recalls more and more because the system's actually working.
I want to drill down on that a little bit more of what you just touched on. What does the food inspection process look like at a federal level, and then how does that translate down to the state?
Yeah, so food inspection actually happens at 3 different levels. We have federal inspectors that spend time going to certain types of processors, meat and poultry and other major processors. We have state regulators that do inspections on behalf of the federal government as well as on behalf of their state mandates. And then we have local regulators, thinking about here in Wake County Public Health, that does inspections in restaurants. And so we have different levels of inspection for different types of food production.
What does it take to trigger a recall?
So usually what triggers a recall is some concern with the food. Sometimes that concern is found through an outbreak investigation where we have illnesses. And we're seeing that right now with this pasta salad outbreak that's led to numerous recalls. Sometimes it's something that a business triggers themselves because they've found something within their system. And then sometimes it's a regulator who is just doing some regular testing of food and products, and they're finding things that are out there on the market that have the potential to be contaminated. And so they're working with the industry to have those recalls started.
Let's get to sort of the upshot here. You know, you mentioned that you expect to see about a recall a day. That can be determined depending on how you listen to that you could hear that as, oh, wow, like a recall a day. That means something in my pantry could potentially be recalled tomorrow. Or you could look at that and think, well, maybe we're doing a really good job of keeping our food supply safe. How should we be looking at this?
So I would say, when it comes to food safety, we see about 48 million cases of foodborne illness a year on estimate. But we have billions of servings of food that we consume in the U.S. on an annual basis. And so it becomes like this numbers game when it comes to food safety. And recalls are just a subsection of that. And I'm not someone who's alarmed right now with, the additional coverage around recalls. Like I said, I think we expect to see on average one or a little over one a day in the U.S. as it relates to food. And so it is a good example of how the system does work.
Dr. Chapman, appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Now back to that pasta recall, just to give you an idea of how widespread it is. It's impacting 17 states in addition to ours and several grocery store chains, including Trader Joe's and Walmart.
Something to pay attention to all the time. Thank you. Ashley, Kat, we have a bright moon out there tonight.
It's a supermoon, and it's actually going to be the best supermoon of the year. So if you're going to look at a supermoon this year, this is going to be the one to do it. In November, it's called the Super Beaver Moon, and we've got a lot more information about that on WRAL.com. You can read about some other cool things to see in the sky this week as well. The moon is closer to us, so it appears a bit larger and about 30% brighter. It's going to be something cool to see. And we're already getting in some WRAL reported pictures. Thank you, Beverly from Willow Spring, for sending this in. You can see the full moon there in the distance. Technically, it is full tomorrow morning. So if you're out late tonight, early tomorrow morning, open up your phone, snap a quick picture. You can submit it through WRAL.com. Or even easier now on the new WRAL weather app, you can open up the app and submit it right there. There's a report it button, and we make it really easy for you now. We want to show some of them on TV. Gorgeous weather continues this week. It's breezy tomorrow, but bright and warm, 73, 66 Thursday, and 70 degrees on Friday. Just a little bit of a cold front swinging through Thursday, but it's not going to bring rain. The next weather maker is over the weekend, and it comes in 2 rounds, 2 fronts. One Friday night into Saturday morning, another chance for rain on Sunday, but rainfall totals aren't looking very significant, less than 1/4 of an inch, and that's not really likely to help us pretty much at all in the drought that we're in right now. For today, we've had high pressure in control of our local weather. Tomorrow night into early Thursday, a cold front will slip through. It's not going to bring rain with it, but it'll cool us down briefly on Thursday. Friday night is when our first of the 2 weekend fronts get here. That'll bring a chance for rain, but probably not until after midnight into early Saturday and then Sunday. You can see the next front coming through. It just doesn't look like a whole lot of rain with these fronts for the weekend. but behind the fronts, we'll see a pretty drastic drop in temperatures. Lewisburg, a beautiful night out there. Temperatures are cooling off already. 45 in Roxborough, 47 in Rocky Mount and Goldsboro. It'll be down to 36 at the bus stop in Roxborough tomorrow, 39 Raleigh, and 37 in Goldsboro. So make sure your kids are dressing in layers. This is why that 73 is going to make for a great day for them to head to the playground, do some homework outside, something like that. But it'll start off cool in the morning. And then over the weekend, it gets even warmer. 77 degrees on Saturday afternoon, 75 Sunday afternoon. And then by Monday night into Tuesday morning, we go from 75 down to 32 for the low.
Big drop off. Thank you, Kat. One last thing is next. And there's been rumors for years that a Raleigh landmark could disappear. Up next, the latest efforts to save a part of downtown. One last thing tonight. There's another effort to save the State Capitol Holiday Inn in downtown Raleigh. Right now, the Raleigh City Council is holding a hearing about whether to make it into a historic landmark.
Yeah, this is one of the first steps to make sure the site is preserved for years to come. You know, its future has been a bit murky over the last few years. Over the summer, there were some rumors that the iconic building would get torn down. Eventually, IHG Hotels and Resorts said they would convert the building into a Hotel Indigo and preserve the building's round shape.
Now, if you're new around here, you should know that the story of this hotel goes way, way back. It was first opened in 1970. These are pictures of it being built a few years before that. 208 rooms, rooftop dining. It was the tallest structure in Raleigh.